Okay, so let's start with the number one reason you came back into balance. Your number one concern being your neck.
My neck and my headaches.
Okay.
And I couldn't even turn my neck. And I'd go to the chiropractor, regular chiropractor, and it just got worse and worse and worse. So I quit doing that. And when I heard about this, it made sense. It just made sense.
How long have you been having the headaches and the neck problems?
The neck problems have been for years.
Okay.
Years and years. The headaches just started a few months ago that I noticed, but sometimes we have things that we don't even notice. And the allergies and all of the breaking out in hives and everything that I was experiencing, it had to stem from something. So.
Okay. So the neck and the headaches, I know you just said you went to a chiropractor. Were you taking any other kind of medications or anything trying to relieve the pain?
No.
So just trying to go through the chiropractic and it just wasn't helping out at all?
Just didn't help. I really feel that when you take the medications that you lose a sense of really what's happening in your body. So I try and grin and bear it.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say you're at for both the neck and the headache pain as of now?
Probably a 6, 7, maybe an 8.
Okay, another thing you had mentioned to the doctor was some stiffness you were having in your hands. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Well, I thought it was arthritis, but it just didn't make sense that it was arthritis. And I've had a lot of sports injuries and stuff with my daughter, so I thought, well, maybe it is arthritis and it's set in. Much better now. Still have it. Still have flat feet, and I still have sore flat feet, but they're way better. And it was interesting for a while. When last month I was having like knee and feet problems accentuated, and I kept thinking, oh no. And I talked about it with the doctor, and he said it's probably because your body's balancing itself back out, and now one muscle is working harder than the other.
Yeah. So where would you say you're at on a scale of 1 to 10 with the hands and the feet at this point?
I would guess about an 8. I'm not really having too much trouble.
Okay.
I hate to be too optimistic at this point.
Yeah. Okay, and you mentioned a little bit about your allergies. Is that something you've had for a long time, on and off, or?
Had them for a long time. Probably around 12 or 14 years I've had breaking out in like a hive. And my sister told me it was hormones. The doctors couldn't figure it out. We can't. And every time I'd scheduled to go to a dermatologist, I wouldn't get any breakouts. So I couldn't show them anything. And then when I heard this on the, I thought, gosh, it makes sense if your nerve endings are blocked or getting pinched or not being able to be fully free. It makes sense that you would break out in hives or your body would rebel in some way. So.
Was there asthma that coincided with that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Was it painful asthma? Did it just start when you had the rashes flare up, or?
I don't know. The asthma is to me, I think it's an acid reflux thing, and it's stress related.
Okay. Where would you say you are on the allergies on a scale of 1 to 10 as of now?
Well, it's only been a month, but right now I guess I'm probably a 7 or an 8. I'm not really having much trouble, so but I'm being patient with it to make sure, because my allergies tend to like not do anything and lay dormant, and then all of a sudden they. So I'm going to give it a couple months, but.
Do you think it comes on with weather changes? Has that ever been a problem for you with allergies? I know myself, I have.
Sometimes that's sinus-wise, yeah. That's, I mean, and it's happening right now. But the hives, I can't place anything. I've tried watching my food. I've tried watching. I can't place. There's no rhyme or reason for it.
Have you experienced any hives since you started care?
No.
No. Okay. Good. Could you tell me a little bit about the loss of smell and the taste that occasionally happens?
I don't know what that is. I think it's allergies.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can figure out.
Have you noticed it lately? Or?
No, I really haven't.
Okay.
I haven't paid much attention to it, I'll be honest.
Okay, well that's kind of a good sign when you
Yeah.
haven't paid attention to
Yeah.
it. Maybe you haven't really noticed it. Okay, so that's good. The other thing that you mentioned to him about was some occasional irregular heartbeat.
Yeah, I haven't had that either.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's been quite a while since you've noticed anything
I
about
had some
that.
chest pain last week, but I think it was, again, acid.
Acid
Yeah.
reflux. Okay.
I haven't had any irregular, you're right, I didn't even think about that, but I haven't, for a month, I haven't had any skipping.
Now, is there anything else? I know we have a long list here of things that you were concerned about in the beginning. Was there anything else that you've noticed in the past month, just improvement-wise, mood or health or physically?
I've been really tired.
Okay.
Really tired. I mean, excessively so. And doctor and I just figured out that it's part of the healing process. My body's trying to, it's been out of whack for so long that now it's trying to like rebalance itself. And I do notice I've always had bad posture, always, since I was little. And I do notice that my posture is much easier to correct than it used to be. I thought my bones were growing, you know, cockeyed, and it was always a struggle to pull the shoulders back, but that's been better. I can turn my head. I haven't been able to turn my head for a long time. I don't feel like my shoulders are hitting my ears like they used to all the time.
Okay, the last thing I just want to ask you about is if you could just describe for us your first NUCA adjustment. Was it what you expected? Were you skeptical? I mean, how did it feel?
It didn't. I was like, are you sure you're doing something? And he said, you're hearing things, right? I said, yeah, but it sounds like your wrist is cracking. And, you know, just very faint little I'm like, yeah, right, this is working. So I went, I sat up, and all of a sudden I could turn my head again, so he was doing something in there.
So you actually kind of felt right away, immediately.
Immediately I felt something more balanced, more upright.
And it's kind of stabilized since you've said you feel a little bit tired, but it's kind of because your body is balancing. But overall, I mean, you have great numbers of improvement here. I know it's somewhere a little bit above mid-range, but for a month, that's pretty good.
That's great.
You're on a track to wellness, I think.
I'm thrilled because I really feel that your body has to be in balance before you can be in balance. So I'm more about letting your body heal itself than trying to give it medication to mask the problem.
Yeah.
So
I agree, because I mean, you have some problems here that are concerns that were years and years in the making, and
yeah, but they were all like bizarre things that didn't make sense. They just didn't make sense. There was no reason for them to be happening, and so it made me realize when I heard the advertisement that my body's out of balance, and that's the problem. You know, I was getting numbness in my fingers. Well, that's nerves. If your nerves are getting pinched, you're going to get numbness in your fingers. So it just made sense to me.
Well, good. Thank you so